What if everything you've been told about money and success is actually backwards?
Hmm.
We're always told, chase the wealth, hustle harder, grind longer, push through.
Right. The usual advice.
But what if real wealth doesn't start in your bank account or your job even, but somewhere? Well, somewhere far more personal, somewhere deep inside.
The truth is, yeah, many traditional approaches often miss that fundamental starting point. Wealth, according to the source we're digging into today, it begins long before any paycheck or, investment idea.
Okay.
It starts in the one place you've actually had access to all along, your mind.
Your mind. Okay. So right now, maybe you feel stuck. Like no matter how hard you work, it just never seems to be enough.
A very common feeling.
Yeah. And you might look at others who seem to, I don't know, attract money effortlessly and wonder, what are they doing that I'm not? Well, this deep dive suggests it's not really about luck or privilege or even intelligence.
Not fundamentally, no.
It's about something the source calls alignment. It's about how they think, the energy they give off, and the beliefs they carry deep inside, often without even realizing it.
Exactly, that unconscious level.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating source called the Mind-Wealth Connection, Mastering Your Abundance.
Right.
And this is definitely not your typical financial advice. It really challenges the very foundation of how we think about money. Gets into the neuroscience, the psychology behind our financial realities.
Yeah, our mission today really is to explore this surprising notion that your mind isn't just part of your life. It's the actual command center.
Command center, okay.
Quietly shaping your world in every single moment. We'll try to uncover why so many people feel held back. And maybe more importantly, how you can begin to, train, shape, and command your mind to attract the life you were born for.
As we unpack this, I think you'll find some really transformative ideas.
Yeah.
Especially when we get to the practical stuff later. You're going to get some incredible insights into those invisible barriers that might be holding you back and discover some tangible ways to shift your internal world, to actually change your external reality. So this feeling, this pervasive feeling we sometimes have that we're stuck, that it's never enough, where does that really come from? The source points to something beyond the economy or our job history.
Precisely. The core barrier, as it's outlined in the Mind-Wealth Connection, it isn't external, it's internal.
Internal.
It's the silent program running in your mind, the one that kind of whispers, you can't, or you're not enough, you'll never have more than this.
Wow.
And these thoughts, they aren't objective facts, they're just deeply ingrained habits. The book explains, look, we are all born with essentially unlimited potential, but from the moment we enter the world, we're fed ideas about money. By family, by culture.
Right, you absorb it.
You absorb it, and these beliefs settle in, almost like background music, shaping every decision without us even realizing it. And often, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of scarcity.
That's quite a reframing. It's like we're operating on some old, outdated operating system then.
I think a great way to put it.
The source really drives home that most people just wake up and, well, they relive the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same actions as the day before.
And that repetition, it builds a mental blueprint, almost like a neural pathway in the brain, right?
Okay.
And this blueprint then keeps them stuck, locked in the same financial reality. If you genuinely believe you're not meant to be wealthy, your mind literally finds 1,000 reasons to prove it right. It filters out any evidence to the contrary. It's fundamentally about identity. Your results will always, always rise or fall to meet the level of who you believe you are.
Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, well, your thoughts, your behaviors, even your subconscious energy, it'll mirror that. Often creating friction against your conscious efforts,
That idea of an old operating system for our minds is very relatable.
Yeah.
But, okay, for someone who's maybe tried affirmations or positive thinking before and felt like it didn't stick, what does this book say is the key difference? What makes this rewiring approach truly effective?
That's a really important question.
And why do people fall for that idea that they're just unlucky instead of looking inward?
Well, the book posits that the mind is incredibly loyal to the story you keep repeating about yourself, whether you're conscious of it or not.
Loyal to the story.
Yeah. And often our minds, maybe surprisingly, can become almost addicted to the familiar, even if that familiar state is stress or scarcity or struggle.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Exactly. Anything outside that feels unfamiliar, even if it's objectively better, can trigger resistance. So many people unconsciously sabotage their success, not because they can't handle failure, but actually because they've never truly trained themselves to handle more.
Handle more. Interesting.
Yeah. They misunderstand the process. They expect instant results from this internal rewiring, forgetting that transformation always begins beneath the surface. It's invisible at first.
Right.
Like you said, it's like planting a seed today and then digging it up tomorrow to see if it's growing. You have to trust the unseen process for a while.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for anyone feeling stuck. The core idea from our source is, when you deliberately change your inner world, the outer world starts to follow. So what does this really mean for someone looking to make a genuine shift?
It means your mind is the command center, like we said. It's not just a passive receiver of information.
Okay.
If you're constantly focused on lack, on what's missing, your mind will unconsciously filter reality to show you more evidence of lack. It confirms your focus.
Right.
But if you begin to focus on abundance and not just like a wish, but a deep sense of possibility, your mind actually starts to scan for new ideas, new connections, doors you literally didn't see before.
So it changes what you perceive.
Exactly. This isn't magic. It's a shift in focus and perception. And that shift changes everything.
So we're not stuck in stone. We're just patterned. That's a key distinction.
Pattern?
And patterns, thankfully, can be rewritten. The source reminds us the brain isn't fixed. It's incredibly adaptable. Neuroplasticity, right?
Exactly.
So,
neuroplasticity.
yeah.
So when you intentionally interrupt that old pattern, when you consciously begin to feed your mind new beliefs, new images, new truths, you literally start to rewire the entire system.
How do you start, though?
Well, the first step is always awareness. Just noticing the thoughts you've accepted without question, like, oh, I can't afford that, or money is just hard to get.
Those common ones?
Yeah, those everyday thoughts. They aren't harmless. The book calls them anchors. They weigh you down.
Anchors. Okay.
So the suggestion is catch them, challenge them, and then replace them. Not just once, but consistently, every single day.
Daily practice.
Repetition is how the mind learns and solidifies new pathways. Just like, going to the gym reshapes your body, daily repetition reshapes your beliefs.
Okay, this raises a really important question then. If it's all about identity, this whole thing, how do we do this? How do we actively engage in developing a wealth identity? I mean, what does that even mean, practically speaking?
Right. It sounds a bit abstract, but the mind-wealth connection makes it very practical. It emphasizes that you simply cannot attract a life that contradicts the identity you hold deep inside.
Okay.
So what that means practically is the moment you start thinking, feeling, and acting like your highest self, the version of you who already has the wealth and abundance you desire the world actually begins to reflect it back to you.
So it's not just thinking, it's feeling and acting too.
Absolutely. And it's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's framed more as remembering and embodying, uncovering the bold, confident, wealthy version of you that, in this framework, kind of already exists within you.
Okay, so far we've talked about how our inner beliefs can hold us back and how changing our identity is really key. Now, let's maybe hit some specific actionable ways to implement this. What does the source recommend for harnessing the power of thought and belief?
Okay, so the book outlines a pretty clear process here. It says, every thought you allow into your mind is like planting a seed.
A seed.
Plant enough of the same thought consistently, it grows into a belief. Nurture that belief with repetition and emotion. The feeling part is crucial, and it solidifies into your identity.
Belief plus emotion equals identity.
Essentially. Then act from that identity long enough, and it starts creating your external reality.
Okay, any specific exercises?
Yeah, one powerful practical exercise the book suggests is a daily word audit.
A word audit.
Yeah, like for 10 minutes each morning, you actively catch and rephrase any self-limiting language you use about money.
For example.
So instead of thinking or saying, I can afford that trip, you'd consciously reframe it to something like, how can I create the value or the means to afford that experience?
Shifting from limitation to possibility.
Exactly. It's about eliminating words that weaken you, stopping those self-deprecating labels like, oh, I'm always broke, and consciously choosing to speak with authority, walk with intention, visualize your future as if it's already yours. Because your subconscious mind, it doesn't really respond to logical arguments. It responds much more powerfully to consistent identity, strong emotion, and that relentless repetition.
That's a great concrete practice, the word audit. So if our inner world is the thermostat, kind of setting our energetic temperature, what about our emotions? The source also highlights emotional alignment with wealth. How did that fit in?
Oh, this is absolutely crucial. The book stresses that to truly attract unlimited wealth, your feelings must match your thoughts and your desired identity.
Feelings have to match.
Yeah. It's not enough to just intellectually think about success. You have to feel it deeply, as if it's already here. Like, what would it feel like? Because when your heart sort of believes in your worth, your mind stops sabotaging you with fear and self-doubt as much. The book explains this actually trains your nervous system to feel safe in abundance, rather than automatically triggering stress responses when you think about more money or success.
Feeling safe with abundance.
Right. The frequency of abundance, as it's sometimes called in the book, isn't really mystical. It just refers to a state where your body's stress response is minimized. Your mind is open, calm, allowing you to perceive and then act on opportunities you might otherwise miss completely when you're stuck in a fear-based scarcity mindset.
So you see things differently.
You literally see things differently. When your mind is trained to focus on opportunity instead of obstacles, you begin to notice chances that were probably always there, but previously invisible to you.
And what if that emotional shift feels, well, uncomfortable at first? Like we're stretching beyond what we've known for a long, long time.
That's actually a good sign. Growth always feels uncomfortable at first. It has to. It stretches you, it challenges that old identity, pulls you way out of your comfort zone.
Right.
But the mind-wealth connection makes it abundantly clear. You are not here to stay small. That discomfort is the feeling of expansion.
Okay.
Most people give up, the source argues, not because they're incapable, but because they misunderstand this exact process. They expect instant results from the internal rewiring.
That seed again.
Exactly. Forgetting that profound transformation always begins beneath the surface and takes consistent, sometimes uncomfortable, effort. You have to keep showing up, internally and externally, as the person who already has it, even when your current reality doesn't fully reflect it yet.
Fake it till you make it. Or something deeper.
Deeper, I think. It's about embodying it, because your energy, your state of being, it speaks louder than words. It announces who you are becoming, often before any external validation shows up.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's try and recap some key nuggets of knowledge from the Mind-Wealth Connection. Mastering your abundance.
Sounds good.
First, the absolute core message. Wealth truly begins in your mind, not in your bank account, your thoughts, your beliefs, your self-image.
Yeah.
They act as a command center, silently shaping your financial reality through, like you said, those neural pathways.
Yes, exactly. And a really critical takeaway is that those limiting beliefs, the I can't afford that or money is hard to get, they are not facts. They're just ingrained mental habits.
Habits, not facts.
And your brain is incredibly adaptable. Neuroplasticity means you can consciously rewrite these patterns. The book really emphasizes that you are not stuck, you are patterned. And patterns can absolutely be rewritten through deliberate, consistent effort.
Right. And a powerful practical step, like we discussed, is to be pretty ruthless with doubt. Be really intentional with what you allow into your mental space. Maybe start by challenging and replacing those limiting thoughts daily, perhaps using that word audit idea, and consciously choose to speak to yourself and visualize your future as if it's already yours, really embodying that wealth identity.
And finally, consistency is just paramount. It's non-negotiable, really. Just like going to the gym consistently reshapes your body. The daily repetition of new beliefs, aligning your emotions, and taking aligned action that reshapes your mind and, ultimately, your reality. And cultivating gratitude is mentioned as a powerful accelerator in this process. It shifts your focus from lack to plenty.
Right.
And literally rewires your brain to expect more reasons to be grateful, which naturally opens you up to receiving more abundance.
Okay. So maybe you felt like you're doing everything right on the outside, but nothing's really changing. This deep dive really suggests that your inner blueprint, that internal operating system, might be the key to unlocking what's next for you.
Yeah.
Your future is shaped by what you think, feel, and do now, often beneath the surface.
Yeah, and this isn't just about, positive thinking in some superficial way.
No.
It's about deliberate mental conditioning. It's about rewiring your brain at a deep level and fundamentally shifting your identity. And that requires commitment. It requires courage to lean into that discomfort of growth.
Which is always, always inviting you to claim more.
So we'll leave you with this to think about. What's maybe one thought or one limiting belief about money or success that you can choose to actively rewrite starting today? Just one to begin shifting your own abundance.
And maybe ask, what is one small, deliberate way you can begin to act like the person who already has the wealth you desire today?
Great questions.
Remember, you are not waiting for permission from anyone or anything to rise. You are simply, finally, becoming who you were always meant to be.